And we're coming to you live for the Built Ford Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network and wherever you are in the free Odyssey app. Good Tuesday morning. There are days in sports you will remember forever. Some good, many bad. And last night ran up to the top of the list for Jets fans on the bad column as they watched the hope crumble into a heap on the fourth play of the game last night, and Aaron Rodgers' season is over. This is a ruptured Achilles. I know that Rob Saleh is talking about prayers, and it's not good, and we'll see what happens in the MRI. He is done for the season. He might be done for his career because the rehab for this at his age is going to be grueling, and he may not want to do it because he said that he was thinking about retirement before this season anyway. But this was as bad as it gets. It is truly, truly unbelievable that it's 4 plays in. You don't even get to see him complete a pass. It's the same exact injury that Vinny Testaverde had in 1999. The entire air was sucked out of that stadium, sucked out of the team, but yet, somehow, they come back and win the game. Now, that's going to be a minor part of it today. But that was very, very impressive that they were able to come back, and most of them probably knew that he was done for the season as the game was going on, and they come back and win in overtime in dramatic fashion. But, Boomer, I've never felt this bad about something that didn't involve a team that I grew up watching in my life. I am absolutely gutted for the Jets, their fans, all the great people over there. This is horrendous, and there's no other way to put it. And now you got Zach Wilson for the rest of the year, so prayers up for that as well. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, I'm sick to my stomach, man. It was just awful watching this last night. And what makes it worse is that, just to unpack a few things here, Aaron hurt this leg in training camp, or OTAs, I should say. Remember when he first got here and he had the calf injury? So this is, this goes right along the same leg, the whole deal. And the key word you used right there is ruptured. And if, in fact, it's ruptured, it's over. And I can't believe what I saw last night. I cannot believe what I witnessed last night. I was hoping that he was going to have a great year. I was hoping that he was going to be able to do what Tom Brady did with Tampa. I was so looking forward to watching this game last night. And I'm sure the 83,000 fans that were at Metlife Stadium, all the fans watching at home, nobody wants to see anybody get injured, let alone a Hall of Fame quarterback who's trying to, ignite a franchise that, hasn't been alive for 12 years, essentially, for the playoffs. And it was so disappointing. I felt sick to my stomach. I was deflated. But here's the good news. Credit is, damn, that defense played their ass off. Damn, Breece Hall played his ass off. If Zach Wilson can get his head out of his ass and throw the ball to Garrett Wilson, they may have something there because Garrett Wilson is a hell of a player. Jordan Whitehead, great game last night. Remember they were talking about being about the 85 Bears and all that other stuff? Yeah. Well, what the 85 Bears did is they forced teams into turnovers, and to force Josh Allen into 3 interceptions and a fumble, and that defensive line continually stopping the run. I mean, they almost gave up, they gave up less than 100 yards. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's so much to like about this football team right now.
Well, that's what makes it worse in a way.
That's why I have my number 7 jersey on. I'm ready to go over there. I swear to God, I swear I'll just hand it to Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook and get the hell out of the way.
Right.
And I'll throw a little wide receiver screen here, a little wide receiver screen there, and I'll tell you what, I'll actually throw the ball when I'm supposed to throw it. So on the play that Aaron gets hurt, it's a quick pass, and Dwayne Brown is basically diving at the legs of the defensive end, getting his hands down. It's a cut block, chop block, whatever you want to call it. I guess a cut block would be the right way to describe it. And Aaron's got his guy. He's wide open. Just throw it. I don't know why he didn't throw it. I mean, again, I'm going to go back to Tom Brady because Tom Brady lasted a long time in the NFL with only one injury, and that injury wasn't his fault. Somebody dove at his knee, and the rules got changed after that. But there's a reason why he lasted as long as he did, because he would call a play, he'd know where he was going with it, he wouldn't hold on to it, and he threw it.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, because you could see they got 2 slant patterns on the outside, and if he looks left, where Brown is cutting down the arms or the legs of the defense end, so he can't knock the ball down because that's what he's taught to do. Just throw it, let it go, and this doesn't even happen.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because on the previous play when he was under duress, he was really under duress, and he ended up flushing out to his right, and he barely got the pass off, and there were guys in his face right away. On this one, I actually verbally said, "You got time." While I was watching this, so I was like, "You got time."
Just throw it.
And then all of a sudden, boom, he doesn't throw the ball. He holds on to it. Now, this is not a blame situation for anybody, because this is horrific, whatever. It could have happened at any point. But I think the point that you're trying to make is the fact that everybody's saying, "Oh, Joe Douglas didn't beef up the offensive line enough, and this is what you get."
No, it's not that at all. It's not that at all.
He should have thrown the ball.
He's got to throw it, and he's got to get rid of it. And again, I talk about self-preservation all the time when it comes to quarterbacks. The longer you hold on to the ball, more likely you are to get hurt. And it could happen. I heard people complaining about the turf last night. I don't think the Cowboys had a problem with the turf. I don't think anybody else on the Bills seemed to have a problem with the turf. Maybe Josh Allen did, because he was off last night, and those bad turnovers continue to happen for him without Brian Daboll as his coach.
That's right.
And it's obvious.
Yep.
So this, I don't know what to tell you, man. I was sick to my stomach. I wanted to cry last night. I really did. I mean, I just felt so bad for Aaron Rodgers. I felt bad for Joe Douglas and Rob Saleh. But you know what? The team, the special teams, the defense, the running game, all of those things that need to be a part of a victory, all were a part of this victory last night. Now, they're going to go on the road to Dallas this week, and it's not going to be easy. But I'm telling you, I'm pulling Zach Wilson in, and I'm saying, look, man, we can't play like a hamstring team with a quarterback that we don't believe in. We either believe in you or not, and you're either going to take this thing and you're going to run with it, and you're going to make the most of it and try to get your job back and keep it, or we're getting you off the field.
Yeah, and this is what can happen again. When you got a third down and an opportunity in a clear passing situation, whatever it was, 3rd and 10, and if you get a first down, you win the game. Because at that point, they're either going to run out of timeouts. Even if they get the ball back, they're going to have to score a touchdown most likely, because worst case at that point, you're kicking a field goal and you end up 6. And what they did, and I understand you trust your defense in this situation, but what they did was they went conservative and they handed the ball off. And then, to me, there is no better example of the Jets being scared to death of this kid than that right there.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You win the game with a completed pass. There isn't a single situation in the NFL. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson. There isn't a single situation in the NFL where that offensive coordinator has an opportunity to win a game with one completed pass and doesn't even try. He didn't even try.
Now, listen, but here's the thing. I'm sure that the head coach told him, run the ball, we're going to play defense. And I'm telling you, it's not just on Nathaniel Hackett.
And that's fine for last night.
Right,
I'm talking about going forward.
Yes.
That crap can't happen anymore.
No, you got to take the training wheels off. And you know what? Because the reason you got to take the training wheels off is because Garrett Wilson's going to get frustrated. You saw him frustrated last night. Yeah. But Troy Aikman did a really good job of showing where Garrett Wilson was running a shallow cross. Okay, it's about 4 or 5 yards deep. If you keep running through the zones, you're eventually going to run into somebody. And the quarterback is not going to want to throw you the ball because he's going to get you blown up. And maybe there's a tip ball. Maybe there's an interception like what happened with Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones. All right. So Garrett's got to stop there. And he's got to give the quarterback a chance to throw the ball to him. You know what I'm saying? So there are a couple of other things that happened in this game last night for Zach Wilson. He's got to grow up, and he's got to grow up fast. And, they won the game. That's all that matters. He came in. It had to be shocking to him as well.
Yeah, and it probably was a good thing because he didn't have to think about it. He was probably thinking there's no way in hell I'm going to be in this game on the first friggin' drive. So he didn't think about it. He went right in there. But all right. Everybody's tossing around names now because no one believes in Zach Wilson.
All right, Tom Brady's not coming to the Jets.
I agree with that. And
he's a Patriot for life. They just put him in there.
He's ringing that lighthouse bell and everything. He's running out there with his toy. There's no way he's coming.
That would be number one, he's a partial owner of the Raiders.
Yeah.
Number two, that would be like a shiv to the heart of Robert Kraft.
Yeah, there's just no he's not. That's not going to happen. Now. Here's one. I'm not saying it maybe come in and start, but I feel like I'm going to duck when I say this.
If you say Cam Newton,
no. Nathaniel Hackett took Blake Bortles to the AFC Championship game as the offensive coordinator. He is out there. You at least bring him in. Not to maybe start, at least bring him in, kick the tires on him. Kick, little tire kicking.
Oh, boy.
Do you? They went to an AFC championship game with him as the quarterback. He can't be any worse than Zach Wilson.
Tim Boyle's the next guy up. I'm sorry. He's going to be the next guy up.
I'd rather see him than Zach Wilson.
But he'll be the next guy up.
He doesn't have it. He's not going to have it. And it's one of these things I keep hearing, well, here's his opportunity. He had 2 opportunities for 2 straight years.
Last night he had
gave him the job.
Last night he had a screen called, and Milano read the screen. And he just kept backing up and backing up and backing up. And
reminded me of last year.
All right. You just got to throw the ball at his feet. You got to throw the ball at his feet. You got to throw the ball at his feet. You got to
runs in the other direction.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. This isn't college, son. This is the NFL. You can't use your athleticism the way that you're using it. You're not Fran Tarkenton. This is not the days of Fran Tarkenton. You got defensive linemen and outside linebackers that are faster than you are. You have safeties that are sudden. You have people that are on that field that run, sub 4.40s. You got to get rid of the ball. You got to read the defense.
Yeah, the only.
And by the way, that touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson
was not a good throw.
It was a crappy throw.
It was terrible. He just made an unbelievable play on it. The only hope that I have for Zach Wilson is that somehow with the combination of the mentoring of Aaron Rodgers and having Nathaniel Hackett in there, who's got a lot of experience, he's not dealing with a young offensive coordinator like he had with Mike LaFleur, who had never really done it before. Maybe he is competent enough to get them to the playoffs, but here's the problem. This was not about the playoffs. This was about them winning a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers sat there and said that Super Bowl III trophy looks really lonely. This is what this was about. This is for all the Jet fans that weren't alive for Super Bowl III, that had never seen it. They were going to get it. It was going to be Mark Messier all over again. But for the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers, it was supposed to be about the Super Bowl. And now, because Zach Wilson is the quarterback, it's an impossibility. It's just he is not winning a Super Bowl for the Jets. And that's the worst part about last night. Is this could still be a fun season. It could still be something that you remember and say, hey, remember that year where Aaron Rodgers went down, still went to the playoffs, and good for Zach Wilson. He grew up, but they're not winning the Super Bowl. And that's the only thing that mattered to this franchise this year.
Right, right. You're right. And, when you watched Aaron last night after he stood up, after he got taken down, he went down immediately. And usually when a guy goes down immediately like that, he knows that something popped, something ruptured, something is not right in his lower ankle. And if it is truly a rupture, it'll be a surgery situation that could be anywhere 8 to 12 months because of his age and because of the issues that he's had with his calf. I'm still stunned this morning. I'm still stunned. I barely got any sleep last night.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking about it. I just kept thinking, I couldn't imagine. His phone was probably blown up last night. Family, friends, everybody. He was the toast of the town here. And it was 99% of the media attention was focused on the Jets. Everything from Hard Knocks to everybody and their mother interviewing him, including us. He did an interview with John McEnroe, did an interview with Aaron Andrews, did an interview with us, and on and on and on and on and on again. And he was enjoying every minute of it.
It was the biggest story in the NFL that ended 4 plays in. It was this, because of the hope and what could have been. This is up there at the top of the list of the biggest Jet disasters. This is almost as bad. You could say, all right, AFC Championship game losses and some of these bad playoff losses, these miserable seasons, but what Aaron Rodgers represented for this team at this time. We can't minimize that now. That's all we did was talk about it.
Yeah,
about how he was going to put him over the top, and now he's gone. And you may never see him again.
Dude, it's 99 all over again. And Vinny Testaverde was in the house last night.
Yeah.
He was in the house last night. He was out there, I think, for the coin toss. I think I saw him up there in Woody Johnson's box.
Why, Vinny? Today's not the day. It was not the day for him to be there. I'm not one of these guys sometimes who like to have fun with the eeriness and the sports gods or this or that. But it's just the fact that he was there at this game and the same injury happens. It is. I still can't believe it. I still, as I sit here, and driving in and seeing you and sitting here talking about, I cannot believe we are not going to see Aaron Rodgers play football for the Jets this season. And maybe never again, depending on the rehab of this or what he wants to do. This might be it.
Well, I mean, he did say he owed the Jets 2 years, but I don't know. I'm sure he's going to go back into that dark place here.
Oh, my God. I'm sure with every Jet fan.
Yeah, I know that, but the season's not over. And, give credit to this team last night. They won.
No, I know.
And, and they won how they're going to have to win. They're going to have to win by playing great defense, which they did. I mean, Quinnen Williams and his brother were all over the field last night. Holy Christ, they were everywhere. They were everywhere.
No, and listen, they're not going to give up, and I give them a ton of credit for last night.
They have an effing great team. That's the thing. They got
what makes it worse. Team. That's what makes this worse. Is the fact that you feel like they would have won by 30 last night if Aaron Rodgers was playing. I mean, seriously. And and so now I just I don't know. There's a chance that they can get to the playoffs in the AFC.
Well, they just beat the Bills, all right, and that was going to be one of now.
But they're not going to get 4 turnovers every game. Let's get real. They're not.
I know they're not, but I'm just saying. It's the athlete in me. It's the guy that goes into the locker room. When I was 3-13 with the Jets, I felt like we could win every game. That's how maybe idiotic I am, but that's how competitive we are as athletes. And I know how I felt last night, and I was just sitting there drinking a tequila, watching a game. And I felt miserable. I can imagine how his teammates must have felt. They were probably stunned and shocked. And what I loved on the sideline, Garrett Wilson going over to Zach Wilson going, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah.
And now they somehow, Nathaniel Hackett, my thing was, watch the Patriot tape. I watched the Patriot tape yesterday. Bill O'Brien did a masterful job of their passing game against Philadelphia. And Mac Jones, threw the ball 54 times. I don't want Zach Wilson doing that. You don't have to do that because you can run the ball with this team. You see that 3 tight end set that they were running last night?
Yeah, I know.
Breece Hall was shooting through there like a freaking cannon.
That's probably the most encouraging thing is because nobody's got any respect. There's no defense in this league that has any respect for Zach Wilson.
But this should help him.
But right. So what I'm saying is they were still able to run the football when everybody was gearing up for the run, which is a very, very positive thing. So that should help him. But I mean, I
will say this, that the pass that he threw to Alan Lazard. It was a little curl-in pass on the right-hand side. He reared back, his back foot hit, and he let it go. It was
with confidence.
It's kind of like the touchdown pass that he threw to Uzama last year against the Bills. I mean, there are a couple passes that he throws, and you're like, damn, he can really let it go. It's just that he doesn't see the game. He doesn't feel the game. He doesn't seem to have any real intuition around the game.
Yeah.
And that's the frustrating part, coaching that. So how do you coach that when you know that, when Aaron Rodgers is out there and he can look at a wide receiver when they got a running play call and say, hey, look, I'm throwing it to you, so be ready. These are all the things that Troy was talking about last night. I thought he did a really good job of talking about the difference between a 19-year veteran who can do things on the field that
and a 19-year-old kid.
And what seems to be like a 19-year-old kid who's got no awareness around him.
Yep. All right, Boomer and Gio just getting started on a...
I can't... I've been here for 17 years. There's been a lot of crap that's happened.
Yeah.
I mean, this one makes me sick.
Yeah. I mean, as I said before, I've never felt like this about a team that I didn't grow up rooting for. I've never been this emotionally affected by that. I mean, this was supposed to be, this story was going to take over the city. It was going to take over sports. It was the biggest story in football, and we had a front row seat for it. We had seen all these horrendous seasons for the Jets. We know a ton of people in that organization that were so happy. And I mean, it's on it. It feels like somebody died. That's what it feels like. I feel like we are grieving a friend, and I don't even know Aaron Rodgers. That's the feeling that I have. I mean, I know it's ridiculous and it's stupid because it's sports and nobody did die, but that's the feeling. Waking up this morning going, did that really happen? It really happened.
Thanks. It just made me feel a lot better today. By the way, thanks to the Giants, they sent us a helmet.
Yeah.
How about that?
Go. I know. Perfect. So what do we do now? We get rid of the Jets helmet?
No, of course not. Move the Boomer and Gio helmet over there.
Okay.
I'll move the Jets and Giants helmet together.
Okay. Very good.
I don't know. I always say adversity is going to hit somewhere. And both of these teams now have gotten smacked right in the face with adversity. But at least the Jets showed some balls.
Yeah, he did.
And they played against one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and got 4 turnovers, played their ass off on defense, and then won it with a freaking punt return with a rookie.
Undrafted free agent.
Right.
Who made the team basically because Corey Davis retired.
Which is unbelievable.
Yep.
And good for him, man.
That was great.
What, Stephen F. Austin? Is that was his college?
I think so. He had one of him and Brownlee. I get him confused.
It was awesome. Yep. I mean, like, you see his, just here's it. Well, I don't know, maybe you were sleeping after, but his interview after the game, I mean, he was so excited. It was ridiculous. He was like the guy that ESPN.
No, I saw they had him on the field with Lisa Salters. Yeah, I ended up seeing that, and then I went to sleep after that. And no, I mean, I was so wired and so. I mean, I'm surprised I fell asleep at all after that.
That's what I'm telling you. I was like 3:15, 4:15. Get up! All right. But I will say this.
Yeah.
After Zach Wilson took that one shot last night, again, no awareness. Ends up putting himself in a really bad situation, and he could have gotten significantly hurt.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like
Matt Milano just laid him out, and he was. And by the way,
did the Jets have an emergency quarter? Is Tim Boyle up?
He wasn't.
I know.
Yeah, Randall Cobb would have been the guy. All right, Boomer and Gio just getting started on this bizarre Tuesday morning where we are mourning the loss of Aaron Rodgers and thinking what's next for the Jets, who pull off an incredible victory in overtime somehow after that injury. We'll get Jerry in here in just a couple minutes. Got some weather for you right now. It's brought to you by